Imagine watching the person you loved most in the world, your father, lose his battle with cancer, and then realizing that your own grandfather has spent your entire life stealing your inheritance, controlling your future, and crushing your family's dreams. Most people would try to fight back in small ways, but what if you had the power to take it all back? This is the story of how a school teacher became chairman of a company for revenge. If you love stories of cunning, patience, and justice served in the most satisfying way, hit that like button and subscribe. Today's tale isn't just revenge, it's about reclaiming your family's legacy and proving that no one can steal your life without consequences. From the very beginning, his father was his hero. Sensory cue, the warm smell of his father's workshop, the rustle of papers as he juggled law school textbooks with business ledgers, the quiet laughter echoing from their small home. His father worked multiple jobs, built small businesses with friends, and still had the energy to spend quality time with his children. To a young boy, it seemed impossible. Then came the devastating blow, stage 4 stomach cancer. Emotional cue, he watched tubes snake into his father's frail body, machines humming and beeping, as his father tried to smile, trying to reassure him that he still knew who he was. Internal monologue, I prayed he'd remember me, even for a second. I didn't know then how fragile life truly was. The father eventually fell into a coma, said his final goodbyes, and left behind a family devastated emotionally and financially. Enter the grandfather, self-centered, power-hungry, and obsessed with appearances. Visual cue, he would boast in newspapers about his dead son's achievements, turning his grief into a spectacle of pride. He offered to help the family manage the father's businesses, but in reality, he siphoned money, controlled resources, and manipulated them into dependence. Emotional cue, the protagonist's mother struggled to make ends meet, working multiple jobs, while the grandfather maintained a facade of generosity. Internal monologue, all this time, we were being choked by the very man who pretended to protect us. Our father's legacy was being stolen, and I had to watch it happen. The protagonist excelled in school, earning scholarships. His siblings pursued medical degrees despite financial hardship. Sensory cue, late nights studying by dim lamp light, empty refrigerator shelves, the quiet hum of a city outside their small apartment as the family struggled to survive. Grandfather's misogyny also threatened his sister's career. Why are you wasting your time becoming a doctor? You're just going to have children and quit. Internal monologue, he didn't just steal money, he stole hope, dreams, and the belief that our family could control our own future. Years later, one of his father's old business partners revealed the shocking truth. Grandfather had been siphoning profits, inflating his own wealth, and actively blocking the family from their rightful inheritance. He rented out the company's prime office space to competitors, all while the family struggled. Internal monologue, all those years, working multiple jobs, scraping by, and it was for nothing. Everything that was ours had been stolen. The protagonist realized that pride was his grandfather's weakness. Sensory cue, the smell of ink on contracts, the sterile feel of boardroom chairs, the weight of responsibility pressing down on him as he prepared to act. He had the legal authority, as the representative of his father's estate, and knew he could use the grandfather's own arrogance against him. Internal monologue, he wanted everyone to think he was our savior. But he'd made one critical mistake, underestimating me. He approached the board of directors without his grandfather, asserting his rightful position. He exposed the grandfather's unethical behavior, including office space manipulation and financial misdeeds, using evidence from extended family and company records. The grandfather, confident in his control, did not realize he was being outmaneuvered. Pacing cue, short, tense sentences as he moved decisively, one board meeting, one revelation at a time. The moment arrived. Visual cue, the grandfather enters the conference room, smug and confident, ready to preside as chairman. The chair spins. The young protagonist sits at the head of the table, surrounded by board members, fully in control. Dialogue. Grandfather, do you know that I'm the one who put him and his siblings through school? Protagonist, no. Dad did. Emotional cue, the grandfather's face pales, eyes wide with shock, pride shattered. The room falls silent as the weight of defeat settles on him. The protagonist steps down as chairman, taking a modest treasury position, ensuring that profits now flow to the rightful heirs. His mother gains a permanent position in the company, a symbolic and practical victory. The grandfather is left jobless, isolated, and powerless, his arrogance and selfishness fully exposed. Emotional cue: the protagonist experiences a profound sense of satisfaction, not just for revenge, but for restoring justice to his family and honoring his father's legacy. Internal monologue: revenge isn't about cruelty, it's about justice. And today, justice won. Lesson: sometimes, patience, strategy, and knowledge of the law can achieve what brute force or anger cannot. True power lies in understanding your enemy, and using their pride against them. Reflective thought: we can't change the past, but we can reclaim the future. That's what makes revenge truly satisfying. If this story inspired you, hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. How would you handle someone trying to steal your family's legacy? And remember, never underestimate the quiet, patient, and determined person you've wronged.